So I'm hoping that I can describe a situation and you can maybe help me to find what I'm missing because it's a situation that keeps coming up and around again and again. And it's starting to make me crazy. I feel like there's a lesson here that I'm missing, and I've tried to handle it in different ways. So there's a person in my life who I think is a very interesting person, very smart, just overall like has a lot to offer me. Um, when I'm in relationships with people, I am a very giving person. So if somebody ever needs anything, I am always right there helping them out. Um, this person, like I said, very interesting, but tends to be a little bit more to them, not even to themselves, about themselves. It's definitely focused on what they want to do, how they want to do, how they want to do it. If it benefits them, great. If not, good luck. Um, and so, this person kind of keeps coming back around in my life, and I'm just wondering why I keep manifesting this because it'll get to a point where I'm, being very, very nice, and then I get frustrated with this situation, and I'll either tell them where to go or I'll say something very nicely, and it's almost to the point where they're not able to have a conversation about it. Like has come to the point where I'm like, okay, let's talk about it. Like, let's figure this out. Like, this is what I need from you. And they just like literally will sometimes go silent for a while. And then kind of have this desire to come back around as if nothing has happened. And so, sometimes it happens where it's been a while and I'll think, oh, they've learned the lesson, or this is a really interesting person, I want them to be in my life, and I realize it should be just really simple to say, oh, you know what, we are not on the same path, we are not on the same page, cut that person out. But it just doesn't seem to happen that way, and I just can't figure out what I'm missing here.
The good news is the answer is very simple. And so I have said that everything is energy, meaning everything is vibration. You create your own reality and every experience in it. And so then you must first understand that only you can wear the mantle of responsibility for everything that you're experiencing. You said earlier something that was very interesting and is very good to bring up in this kind of relationship. The reoccurring nature of the person coming in and coming out is actually a very common occurrence. When the two of you come together, you are vibrationally in alignment, meaning you are operating at a similar vibration. What then begins to happen is then one or both begins to resonate the vibration of conditionalism. Let us recognize first the deliciousness of when two people come together and are in harmony, and how exciting that is, and how refreshing it feels, and how your energy takes on an exuberant pitch. Indeed, you came here to experience those positive aspects of two people coming together in a relationship. And so it is important not to minimize the reoccurrence of that stage happening as well. And so understand that the vibration, your energy of conditionalism, is also something that the other can pick up. Likewise, you can pick it up when someone is in a relationship with you and being conditional with you, meaning there is something, some way that you need to behave to please me. There is a way to please me that I would like you to demonstrate, to express, to make me happier. That is the heart, the foundation of conditionalism. And it is no surprise for you learned to be conditional. You learned that the proper behaviors engendered positive responses. You learned this as a child. You learned it from your teachers. You were taught it in any religious construct that you were exposed to. And so it is understandable now that it is second nature for you to be operating from a conditional platform. It was literally hammered into you. So understand, when you offer the words to another person in a romantic relationship, I need this from you. You are communicating an error in thinking. And the other person, who is also an unlimited eternal being having a physical experience, is more often than not going to be repelled by the vibration of the conditional thoughts, the conditional expectations. Your intention then to have the other person behave in a way so that you can feel more pleased, so that you can be happier, when in fact it is that thinking alone that disassociates you. It distorts the fundamental understanding that you do not need anyone on this planet to behave in any certain way to make you happier. You are pulsing within you. It is you. Indeed, every cell of your body is radiating the energy that connects you to all that is. I have said this is the most powerful energy known. It is the power of creation. And if you believed that about yourself, that you are an unlimited eternal being having a physical experience, you would understand that you do not need him or anyone else to do anything outside of you or provide something outside of you for you to be happy, happier than you are now. That level of happiness can occur energetically, vibrationally, when you alter your limiting beliefs one by one and allow you in your physical form to climb the ladder of unconditional love by being unconditional with others. This is why the health of this relationship or any others that you have begins with your vibrational tempo. If you are establishing that there is a requirement, something that you need from another person so that you can feel happy about being in that relationship, you are establishing a vibrational tempo. You are emitting that to another unlimited eternal being who subconsciously, if not consciously aware, understands that that person cannot be responsible for your happiness in any way, shape, or form. And how do you practice this? You practice this through your relationships, which is why it is the most significant way that all of you learn to become unconditional, to break the strictures of the conditioning of the beliefs that were ingrained in you before you had an opportunity to form your own independently. And what does that mean? That means that you can practice interacting with people who are not obeying you so that you can focus your present point of power, your thoughts, and say to yourself, this person is not behaving in the way that I would like them to. They are not doing the things that would make me feel joyful with them, when in fact, the energy of joy is already running through you. There is nothing that they can do or not do. When you are experiencing the energies of love and passion and desire and joy with another human, when you are coming together in this relationship construct, it is delicious. There are chemical reactions that are occurring in your neuronal process and consequently in your biological format, meaning your body, your brain and body in this time of deliciousness is having all kinds of chemical reactions that's allowing you to resonate with the purity of that joy, that unconditional love. And then it comes, the requirements that you impose on each other. And what is interesting here about your story is that I did not hear you articulate that he had conditions for you. You articulated the words in your recounting of the conversation that you needed something from him, and it is not true. And so by emitting that energy, you began the breach of conditionalism. And so then your practice here, your actions, which are thoughts in motion, to practice the ability to be unconditional with people who are not living their lives to please you, and seeing them purposefully through the proper perspective of unconditionalism, meaning you will have conscious thoughts that their behavior is perfectly acceptable because you were never meant to stay in a static relationship with any one person anyway. It is the number one way that you learn here in physical form. You didn't come to meet the last person you would have this relationship experience with in your life in your 20s for the rest of your life. This is something that you have learned in this very unique culture, that the longevity of a relationship is more important and more valuable than someone who has several relationships. And you see that is not true. The validity of each reality is equal in their experience, in their ability to serve, in their ability to assist you to evolve, you see. And what is interesting is that this reoccurrence, this coming in and out, it is a cycle. And observe your pattern. Observe how wonderful it feels when you come together. And then identify when it starts to not feel good. What thoughts were you thinking in those stages when it began to not feel good? And let us look at that. You started to think that the interaction was no longer pleasing, that this person's behavior was some indication of their capacity to love, which it is not. That perhaps there might be something wrong with you, which there is not. And so then, what must you believe in order to believe that there is something wrong? And if you provide the answer to that question, we can examine that.
So I hear what you're saying, and I think I'm decently, I guess, aware that I don't need anything from him. Maybe that wasn't, I guess, well articulated. I think my frustration comes a lot from why am I putting so much energy into a person and putting so much effort into a person that like doesn't seem to have it to give back. And I think I'm okay with that being the case. Like, this person is not, in a place of being able to give that back or choosing to give that back. And so I think, I'm okay with cutting ties and walking away. And I really am, because I don't need that person. It's nice when they're there, and it is great, and it is positive when they are able to be there. But I just don't want to be in relationships with people that are not reciprocal. I think that
let us talk instead about the relationship and give words to your power in this present moment. Instead of saying what you do not want, articulate for me now in this moment what you do want.
Yeah, I just want people in my life that reciprocate the effort that I give to them. Not that I need their effort. I don't need anything from anybody, but I just don't want to be expending effort towards somebody, and then when it comes to be their turn, there they off somewhere else. And it's very exhausting that way.
You understand that you create your own reality, yes?
Yes.
You understand that it is the tempo of your vibration, which comes from your thoughts and beliefs. Your thoughts and beliefs create your vibration, yes?
Yes.
You understand that your vibration is the set point from all that you will attract, yes?
Yes.
If you can understand that, and if you believe that, then can you understand that he is able to reciprocate vibrationally? This is what you are attracting. The question then becomes, how do I attract something different?
Yes.
And the answer is, I have to become that different. I have to resonate a vibrational tempo that attracts something different. The next level of question to that is, how do I change my vibrational tempo? And it is by altering your limiting beliefs. When you alter a limiting belief, literally in your brain, neuronal processes begin to shift and that your body responds to. So it is not that he does not have the capacity to reciprocate in a way that you would like. He does. I assure you that the creative power that surges to and through him is the same as yours. He does have the capacity. The issue then on the table is not his capacity. It is your vibrational set point. We must remove whatever his limitations are out of the equation so that you can focus on the solution, which is your own vibrational tempo. If you alter your limiting beliefs, you alter your vibrational tempo. And it's not just the relationships that you want that you will attract into your experience. The new vibrational tempo attracts abundance, financial, health abundance, opportunities for you to create. It is not only a relationship that you are going to attract that will be different. You understand? All of it will become different because your new vibrational platform makes you different. It makes you think differently. It makes you perceive the world and others in it differently. And it emits a completely different energy. So the issue then is how to alter your belief systems so that you understand that every man on the planet has the ability to reciprocate in kind in a relational structure with you the way that would please you. Do you believe that?
I do. I think there's an element of free will, though, isn't there? Like we were talking about earlier, like if somebody is choosing, to live in a reality that's different, right? Like then there might be somebody
That is
that's
true.
more
That
suited.
is true. And they can, but it doesn't have to define your vibrational tempo.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't need to affirm any beliefs you might have about men.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, if you can alter a belief, let us put to the side for a moment the issue of free will because we will address that.
Okay.
Right now, what we want to focus on is adjusting your vibrational tempo.
Okay.
So let us start with only one limiting belief, just one. You only have to begin with one. Most people who come into the knowledge of the mechanics of the law of attraction start to become consumed with trying to do as many as they can. No, not understanding. Changing one will alter the vibrational pitch that you are emitting. So let us look at just one about men. Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Let us not confuse their free will with their capacity. Of course, they have free will and they can choose whatever it is they desire. But right now, we're not talking about that. We need to isolate and bifurcate the understanding of what their capacity is. Do you believe that every man, in your case, it would be heterosexual men, do you believe that every heterosexual man on the planet has the capacity to return your love in full force?
Yes.
Okay. What negative beliefs then do you have about men that you have learned here? Just one. We do not need to examine them all. We only need to examine one for a very brief time.
Well,
You have made
I'm
comments
sure
here.
that's.
You have made comments to your girlfriends in the past, yes, you have, about the condition of males. Give us an example of only one. You have generalized about the gender, the male gender. Provide just one. And then after we answer that, I can move to the topic of free will, for it is a good question.
Yeah, I guess I feel like a lot of men that I know or associate with are not able to really go into depth with like, discussion of feelings and like what's really going on. I feel like they avoid a whole lot.